Happy birthday, you worthless piece of shit mother. Well, I mean, the hypocrisy, the world is shit. I don't know if you looked around lately, but the whole world has gone to shit. You know, what are we going to do about all of this? Well, we're here to talk about COVID because I know that's everyone's fucking favorite topic of all time, but a little bit of politics mixed in. Because, you know, you can only talk about so much of that before Susan sits there and beats you to death with a band hammer. As we watch the crumbling economy in New York State, and this new normal pretty much just taking its grip here in New York, and I can only speak about New York right now because I have not left. I will get around a bit in January and see how the rest of the world is doing. But here in New York, it's a 100% pure shit show. Not only is everybody scared to death thanks to the mainstream media overplaying their hand in terms of COVID's killing us again, as people are lining up for the vaccine. I won't be in that line, but you do you. You know, shouldn't matter to you if I'm not. Just saying, if you're vaccinated, who do you give a fuck if I get it or not? Just that's where I stand on that. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit. My favorite person of all time. It's his fucking birthday tomorrow. Yay, let's celebrate. Everybody should go and participate in his Zoom call fucking birthday party that costs $10,000 just to talk to him on fucking Zoom. Who the hell is paying that? Is there somebody that loves Cuomo that much that they're going to pay 10 grand? Wow, wait, he's got Robert De Niro, Whoopi Goldberg, Rosie Perez, Ben Stiller, and Henry Winkler. Fuck all of them, by the way. I will never watch another Robert De Niro movie as long as I live just because of this. And Whoopi Goldberg, I've already hated her for years. Rosie Perez, fuck all of them people for supporting this asshole. Fuck all of those people for supporting this motherfucker. I'm tired of Andre Cuomo. I want him to fuck off. I'm done. I'm done with Cuomo's still not my governor, even though I'm stuck here in fucking New York, you know? And I paid him a lot of taxes this year, but shit, apparently my fucking tax money just isn't enough. I mean, but 10,000 is for the golden ticket to where you could talk directly to Cuomo. I'm tempted to pay it just so I could tell him what a fucking piece of shit he is on his fucking birthday. I want to ruin your birthday the way you've ruined hundreds of thousands of fucking people's birthdays and Christmases and holidays in general. And the way you've scared people to death to where they walk around and do everything with a mask. If they even fucking leave their house. Which I haven't done in a little bit. Can you tell? I'm very mentally healthy right now. But if you want to be a friend, you can just spend $5 grand. And, $5 grand for access for 6 to the main reception. Okay, 10,000 is for 1. To the host reception. All these Zoom fucking receptions. Now, keep in mind, this is being played out as if he's having an actual party. No, this is all on fucking Zoom. And why? Do you not have enough money, Andre Cuomo, that you got to throw yourself a birthday party that everyone has to pay thousands of dollars to attend? Who the fuck are these people paying this? Probably fucking Jeff Bezos, I'd imagine. He's very happy with the way Cuomo's done New York. As are Walmart and Pfizer especially. Pfizer's going to be at that $10,000 table, I tell you that. But I just thought we should wish this fucking buffoon the happy birthday that he really wants. You know, young professional activist, $50. Access for one to main reception, limited availability. RSVP to and contribute at andrewcuomo.com. I'm sorry you're poor right now, Andrew Cuomo. You know, maybe I'm in the wrong business. I should throw birthday fucking receptions on Zoom. What am I doing here on fucking YouTube? Susan already told me I can't have a future here. Look at this fucking... I'm tired. I'm tired of Andrew Cuomo's horse shit. So, just so you know, it's the dickhead's birthday tomorrow. It's an occasion. There's no Christmas this year. There's no fucking Thanksgiving. It's Andrew Cuomo's fucking birthday. Pay up, motherfuckers. So, in other COVID happiness, you know, I still get the motherfuckers, wear a mask, wear a mask. First of all, the only place I'm not wearing a mask is any place that isn't a commercial public space. As in, if my taxes go towards that fucking place, I damn sure am not wearing a fucking mask. Private businesses, they can tell me to wear a mask. And if I want to go into those private businesses, then I have to fucking obey the rules. If I don't, I'll stay home and give Jeff Bezos more money. That's pretty much where I stand on that. I don't like it. I think it's dumb. I think it's hypocritical. The amount of stupidity. Wear your mask till you get to your table. Take the mask off. All of this is horse shit. Yet I still get motherfuckers that are like, just wear the mask, save lives. Clearly not watching the mainstream media at all. You know, if the masks worked, why do we have this spike in cases? Huh? Is everybody just saying fuck the rules? Because when I walk around in nature, the place that you should be least likely to comply, I see face shields and fucking masks all over the place. Except for that one chick that was guarding it with her fucking, wrist. So there's that. Compliance isn't the problem. Lockdowns don't work. Period. We've been locking down in different stages of lockdown and all kinds of social distancing and masks. And we still had the second wave, as they call it. We're still seeing this. So I got a little curious. Is COVID more deadly right now than it was back in March or than our life in general? So I had to do some digging. And the problem is, when you do this digging, what should be a simple number, a simple total that you could get, like a fucking elementary school student should be able to give you this number, is being obfuscated by all of these researchers, universities, and CDC. I should be able to say, how many motherfuckers died this year? Total. That's it. It's a simple question. Simple to figure out. Yet if you go to the places where you should see these totals, they're mired in COVID-19 separation, or they put a little banner on the top, this doesn't count, this. We're not being given a solid number directly. You can still dig and find this shit, mind you. Which we're gonna, on the CDC fucking website for all you haters out there. So I'm here to present you with facts on why I'm not scared and why masks don't make a difference in this fucking scenario, because we were doing that. We've been doing it the whole fucking time. All right? In New York. I can't speak to everywhere else, but I can tell you, every motherfucker I know when they go out in public is wearing their fucking mask. Not everybody's hanging out in the woods. This whole mask shit, I'm fucking fed up with it. I really am. I know some of you are ardent mask supporters. What difference did it make? What difference did all the destroying all these small businesses make? Zero. No difference. And COVID isn't what kills people. The ventilator is what kills people. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that. If you get vented, you're probably going to fucking die. Don't get vented. I don't care how bad it is. Take your chances without the vent. That's my professional, non-medical expert fucking asshole opinion on the matter. You do you on that. I'm not getting vented. I don't care if I'm fucking wheezing, hacking, coughing, blood. I don't care. I'm not fucking getting vented. I will say no. I'll take my chances. You do the other shit. You know, inject me with whatever drugs or whatever the hell, steroids, forced oxygen. You do the best you can. You keep that fucking vent out of me. It's really that simple. You know, a lot of people don't understand. Neighborhood of 700 to 800,000 people die in the United States every year. That's all-cause mortality. This year is not any different. You know, some people, there might be a slight deviation upwards, but that deviation has happened in the past. We've had an increase in deaths in past years. So you might be wondering, well, what the fuck are you talking about, dickhead? Well, if you go to the CDC website, and this is buried in the CDC website, looking at the flu, remember the flu? Well, not a lot of people dying from the flu right now. Imagine that. 13 people, 21 people, and this is 2 weeks. It takes a few weeks for these numbers to get populated. You know, so this is from December 5th time frame for week 40. Well, no, 49. So 48 is the week before that. Pretty much Thanksgiving week. You know, and we're being told that deaths are skyrocketing, you know, and they're not. You know, between those 2 weeks, we're at like 60,000 total. And if you divide that by the 2 weeks, we're at 30,000. So we're a little bit behind the curve. We're lower than average deaths right now for those 2 weeks. We'll know for about this week, and there'll always be that motherfucker. Well, you don't know about this week, motherfucker. We've seen the big headlines. More thousands of people are dying. When we can get into the semantics on what constitutes a real COVID death on another time, but good luck finding the information on that. On an average week during this year, if we scroll back, which is a little scroll bar, goes by the week, and then we go back to the previous fiscal year, which is most of 2020, includes most of 2020. You know, we're seeing 50 to 60,000 deaths, closer to 60,000, almost every week. Every fucking week. And yet somehow it's getting worse. Oh my God. More and more people are dying from COVID. I mean, pneumonia deaths are even lower than they're supposed to be right now. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. So let's go back to the rest of 2020. You know, when this whole thing started. Now, there was a rise in total deaths back in, I think it was, there we go, March. February, we were at 58,000 per week. And we jump up to March. Oh, 59,000, a few more people. You know, do you remember March? I remember March distinctly. Oh, we got up to 62,000 total. Now, keep in mind, this is the kind of shit that's gone on for years. You can go further back. We're going to go back a previous few seasons, few years, and see where we are versus then. But we did get a big spike in death around April. 72,000, 78,000, 73,000, and then it dropped back down and stayed down for pretty well. There's a little bit, there's some waviness between, but still hovering around that 60,000 mark on average per week. I don't see anybody crying about what are all those other deaths. I don't see you fucking locking shit down for that. I don't see you wearing masks and social distancing and putting fucking plexiglass up for those things. So, yeah, that's 2020 in a nutshell. And you can add those numbers up and get the total for the year. So let's go back in the Wayback Machine to 2017, which was, by all accounts, a pretty fucking bad year in terms of death. So we're scrolling through 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 60,000. Oh, look at that. That's around the same. That's February. 67,000. Oh my God. Same kinds of spikes. So maybe we're ahead of the game per week, 4,000 to 6,000 deaths per week. We're up. So if you do that math, is that all COVID? I don't know. This is all cause mortality. But you can see we're in the ballpark of where we always are. We're up a little bit this year. But that you can't 100% rule that in terms of COVID. Good luck with that. Now, where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe COVID is the reason that we are slightly up per week. But how do you explain these? These weeks back here in 2017, 64,000, 67,000. Did we have COVID back then in 2017? I don't know. How did the flu season ramp up in 2018? Same thing. We're hovering around 52, 53,000. Oh, and then it spikes up 57, 58,000. It's looking remarkably similar to pretty much most of this year, with a few spikes into the 60,000 range that we've done in 2020. Let's go back to 2020. How are we doing comparatively speaking? So yeah, we've got a little bit longer period. So we're up 4,000, 5,000, maybe. No, more like 2,000 or 3,000 in some cases. But we did have some spikes. Like I said back here, when we didn't know what the hell we were doing, and we were venting everybody and their brother. We were making ventilators all over the place. Which did take extra lives this year. But overall, we're not doing much worse than some of our other years. If we go back in the Wayback Machine, 58, look at these spikes. They're similar. My point with this is the media, when you watch the news right now, is straight up fear-mongering the hell out of you so that you'll go get that shot, first of all, and to justify further lockdowns over the holiday season to destroy small business and prop up the large corporations. Let's not forget who pays the media's fucking bills. But, as of right now, they've been hyping for the past 2 months. They've been hyping this second wave and spike in infections and increase in deaths. And we're actually going down. We're on our way down the slope from week 45, which ended November 21st. We went down over the Thanksgiving holiday. Imagine that. And we were consistently at the 58, 57,000 mark. So neighborhood of 2,000, 3,000 people per week excess death in 2020. So if we go back to 2014, you can see, anywhere from 50 to 60,000, then it drops back down to 50, 49. We had a good year, 48,000. We were doing good in 2014. 2013, how'd we do then? See, we were pretty low in that year. Not a lot going on. 47,000 per week. So yes, we are up in deaths. Slightly. In 2020. This is in spite of lockdowns, social distancing. It's in spite of wearing a mask. And you really think the majority aren't? They are, but masks Didn't work. They didn't stop it from getting... You think the people in nursing homes... Look at the nursing homes. Because that's where we're getting a lot of death here. Is in nursing homes. Are you telling me those motherfuckers aren't wearing masks? They're probably wearing full PPE. Face shields, masks, and fucking gloves and all kinds of shit. Not to mention, you're completely embargoed from going to visit your loved ones in the nursing homes. But have been the entire fucking year. Poor old people haven't even seen nobody. Except through maybe a window. If it worked, why are we still getting nursing home deaths? You know? I'll tell you why. That fucking ventilator. With an 80% fucking death rate in New York anyway. 50%. I guess it's a flip of a coin in other states. But here in New York, they vent you. They'll make sure you go. You know, are people dying from COVID? Absolutely. I have no doubt that COVID is a contributing factor in the increase, the slight increase, in mortality in the United States. When you do the math, about the same number of motherfuckers are dying. I mean, if we look at the influenza death rate, let's take a look at that. Maybe I'm way off on this. We'll see. I didn't really pay attention to this earlier. But as we scroll back through 2020, you know, this is August, all of that. Influenza's way down. And we go to April. Wow, there's a whole lot of flu deaths in there. So you can subtract that from the excess deaths. But still only like 500, 400, 300, 400, 500, 600 per week. Good thing we locked down for the flu all these years and we got the flu vaccine, right? Let's go back to 2017 and look at our flu. Same pattern. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Back in May of 2018. Oh, shit. 1,000. Look at that. Thousands per week. And pneumonia deaths. They were all the same there. Let's go back to most of 2017, which was a deadlier year. Scrolling back. Oh, we got some red flags there. And we get back to flu season, which is January. That was a mild flu season. Look at that. So when we're looking at March, this is interesting. If you look at the time period, remember where we had our large death spike from COVID, right? And we look at March from 2018 and we see thousands of people dying from influenza and about 5,000 per week for pneumonia. So let's come back to the 2020 time period. Let's go back to the same time period. Around March. Less pneumonia deaths. A lot less flu deaths. Did we get really good at the flu? That's a question, you know. So pneumonia deaths are down back then in March. Remember March? That was pretty deadly. So was April. Pneumonia deaths spiked towards the end of April. But look at the flu. Mean to tell me we cured the flu? I don't get it. Lots of fuzzy math going on here, people. Look at March 2019. Pretty low deaths. March 2018 was a bitch for the flu. We didn't lock shit down then. We didn't fucking wear masks everywhere then, did we? Death spike was up too. 60,000, 64,000. They were above average in deaths. Keep in mind, the average is 50 to 54,000, somewhere in there. And there's good years where we're at 48, 49,000 per week. So when I'm scrolling through 2020, starting at March, well, we kind of start in February, you know, we see the spike that happens towards the end of April. We were in the 70,000 range of deaths. That's a lot of death. There's a lot of excess death there. We died as a result of COVID during those periods. But like I said before, you can correlate that directly with the increased use of ventilators. Then we slowed down on using ventilators. There's alternative treatments that were discovered by a lot of places, not New York, obviously, but a lot of other fucking states got on the ball and kept their death rates way down. This is why throughout the whole pandemic, New York has been number 2 on the death list, with New Jersey being number 1. If you live in any of those states and you want quality medical care, good luck with that. But then we drop back down to the 60,000s for the whole time, you know. And currently, if we go to the current time frame, when they're spiking up the fear much, much more, we're really not. In fact, we're a little bit lower than we were in the summer. So we've gone down in deaths. But that's not the charts you'll see on fucking CBS and CNN. You know, my point is this. We are slightly up in terms of mortality. Is it worth the amount of deaths? Because there's figures you're not seeing here. You're not seeing suicide rates. You're not seeing drug overdoses. You're not seeing violence. All that can correlate to lockdowns. If you don't have a job, you don't have any money coming in, that increases the mortality rate right there. How many of these deaths aren't even COVID? These total excess deaths. Have you thought of that? And as you can see, in the current season, the number of influenza deaths. Does this make sense? 20, 16, 15, 8 on week 40? 8 people died of the flu on week 40. Explain that to me. This is the most mild flu season I've ever seen. That's October time frame. Let's see how we do on an average October. September. Okay, we need the next. It's weird how these time things. So October. We're down slightly in flu deaths. So January appears to be like the hotbed. So let's look at January. Which we're not to yet. So January, 400s. December. All right, we haven't quite started flu season yet, looks like. And you can see the spikes over here on the charts. See these big spikes in the flu. Whole lot of extra flu. In 2020, it looks like. What's this? So April, a big chunk of those deaths, it's flu deaths. Whole lot of pneumonia deaths. Pneumonia caused by what? Probably coronavirus. So for people who think the virus is a complete hoax, it's not a complete hoax. But I contend that we're still not in the range of locking everything down and wearing masks the rest of our lives. Because we did that in a lot of places, and it made zero difference in the mortality rate. And prove me wrong on that. Show me the place. You know, there's no correlation between lockdown and non-lockdown in terms of the infection rate and in terms of the death rate. It made no difference. So why are we doing it? Turns out, treatment is the answer. And for some, the vaccine. If anything, the vaccine should give us some relative herd immunity, along with all the other things that might come with it. We're up a little bit. Is it all COVID? Hard to tell. A lot of these numbers aren't making sense. Apparently, we're having the best flu time of ever. With the exception of the same time that we were hit with COVID, we had flu death, according to the CDC. But the numbers don't look right. They don't match. I'm not a great mathematician here. But we're not too bad. We're up slightly in terms of overall death. It sucks. If you're one of the people that died, it sucks. Or if you're one of your loved ones is one of the ones that died, that sucks. However, it doesn't mean that what I do caused that. What determines the mortality rate is how you were treated when you were in the hospital. Hence, we're not finding people dying in their homes. They're going to the hospital because they're sick and not coming out. We need to take a strong look at what happens in the hospitals. No one's doing that. Keep in mind there's financial incentive for ventilation, for the vaccine, and for the treatments. Every procedure costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not to mention there's government subsidies for all COVID cases. When you add all that together, and unless you're contending that we're a virtuous society, that have no corruption in any of these places, money making's not what, no, none of that going on. What difference does it make if I'm wearing a mask or not in that scenario? Me wearing a mask is going to have the least amount of impact as somebody going into the hospital and getting ventilated for no good reason. There's also preventative treatments that were largely ignored, but I can't talk about that here on YouTube. Why? Because they weren't worth money. And that's what it boils down to, people. You want to know what caused the excess death of 2020? Money. Straight up. Dollar bills, y'all. But what the fuck do I know? I'm not an expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. And I am. And don't worry, I wear my mask when I go to Walmart. I wear my mask when I go to the mall or the store or any place that's inside a private business. But I refuse to wear a mask outside, in nature, on the trail, or in any public space whatsoever. And you don't have to go near me. That's it. And we see the hypocrisy behind it. Thousands of people gathering in Washington, D.C., for example, not wearing masks. Throughout 2020, protests, riots, not wearing masks. Except maybe to conceal their identity in some cases. Didn't stop the tear gas from working. The elites, they're not afraid. If elites were afraid, you wouldn't be seeing them breaking their own fucking rules. Or making rules for the small businesses, but not for the big corporations. Because if they were afraid, they'd treat everybody pretty equally on this. But they don't. There is no equal treatment. There is only hypocrisy here. Wake up to those who are still screaming, wear your mask, wear your mask. Wake the fuck up. I'm sorry. Masks didn't work. I know you pinned your hopes, and if everyone would just wear the mask, we would go back to normal. You think we're going back to normal, motherfuckers? We just got Biden. Good luck at getting back to normal now. You had your shot at maybe getting to normal, and we fucked that up. Just saying. By we, I mean we allowed our elections to go down the way they did. That's about all I can say on that. Here's to the new normal. You know, I'm even hearing rumblings that if you don't get your vaccine, they'll straight up keep locking us down. It's extortion if I ever fucking heard it. Well, if that's what's going to cause future lockdowns, I'm sorry. I hope you like your lockdowns, because I'm not getting that thing in my arm. Sorry. Not this motherfucker. I refuse. And it's my right, constitutionally, to do that. And not to mention, it has zero effect on other people. Like I said, if I don't get my needle in my arm and you do, what fucking difference does it make to you? None. Straight up. So, it should be completely voluntary. And yeah, I might get COVID and die someday. Who knows? It could happen. Or I could get hit by a bus, or fall down some stairs, or have a fucking massive heart attack. Hopefully I alleviated that one. Or get diabetes, or cancer, have a brain embolism, or get hit by a fucking meteorite thrown by a fucking alien civilization that was just on NBC talking about how we suck and we can't join the Confederation. I'm going to live my life best I can in the new normal. I don't like that there's a new normal. I'm not embracing it. I'm not accepting it. I'm going to fucking push the line wherever I can, whenever I can. But I can't change it, people. And I don't think you can either, to be honest. It's pretty clear. If you look at how the election went down, we don't have a lot of say in this. Not yet, anyway. We'll see. But it's looking like, you know, when the establishment Republicans are like, hey, Biden. Well, welcome to the future. And it's time to either accept it or not. You know, we'll see. I do not predict 2021 to be, I think it's going to be worse than 2020, to be honest with you. I think we're just getting our feet wet in terms of the fucking that's going on to us. You know, I don't picture it getting better. But what the fuck do I know? I'm not an expert. I'm just an asshole. You know, I mean, you do you. Quit worrying about what the fuck I'm doing. Honestly, if I don't wear my mask, probably didn't affect you. I'm not exactly exposed to a lot of people either right now. You know, I'm doing my part. I'm exposed to minimal people. You know, minimal amount of people. I got my friends. You know, they're doing their thing. You know, recently a couple of my friends had the flu. I actually avoided them for the flu. Not because of COVID, but the flu. I haven't had the flu yet, I don't think. Needless to say, I went over there anyway, and I didn't catch the flu. But, you know, I was reluctant because of the flu, because the flu sucks. I'm not reluctant on COVID for some reason. Probably because I think I already had it. But that's me. Which probably means it doesn't make a difference whether I wear a mask or not, whether or not I social distance, whether or not I go in the plastic or in bubble or wear fucking face shields and shit. It doesn't matter because I'm not contagious. I can't say that definitively, though, so whatever. You know, it's... At some point, we have to get back to living. We're not living right now, people. This is not living. Our society is effectively shut down and going to Walmart. And you can't even go out in the woods, here anyway, and escape it and feel normal. And by normal, I mean just enjoying our freedom that we should have in this country. We don't have it anymore. It's gone. Where'd it go? We gave it away. The people have given it away. Now, there are some fighting, and I encourage you, if you're one of those people that are fighting for your freedom, definitely. But the majority have given away that freedom willingly. Where did it get us? We still had the spike in cases, and we still had the spike in deaths. Which means lockdowns didn't work. Masks didn't work, and social distancing didn't work. Do you want to get into the intricacies of why it didn't work? Like, you had people that were kind of not obeying the shit in their own home, so most of the spread was in their own home. So, you know, Cuomo he's flirted with the idea of he's limited gatherings in your own home, but nobody's enforcing that shit. You know, that means it didn't lock down. And in the beginning, we had the strictest lockdown, and we still had the huge spike in cases and deaths. Why? Because Walmart was open. Costco was open. All the big corporations were allowed to function. And we still had the spike in cases and death back in March. It was newer then. We got on the ball over the summer. But now here we are in the beginning of flu season. And there's just there's no real solid plan that is going to stop this. And you can compare lockdown to non-lockdown and see infection rate didn't make much difference. Hospitalization rate didn't make much difference. And death rate didn't stop it. What stops death rate is proper treatment. And if the treatments that we're doing currently aren't doing the job, then we need to evaluate the treatments, because you can't stop the spread. You can't stop it. You can wear 4 fucking masks. It's still going to spread. It's a fucking virus. And your little fucking blue mask, non-N95 horse shit, isn't getting the job done. And try wearing an N95 mask if you think those masks suck. So, telling me that I'm a piece of shit because I didn't want to wear a mask on the trail, and that I should wear my fucking mask and shut up and obey. I'm sorry, but it didn't work. It's not going to work. You know, if you're not wearing a full fucking hazmat suit that filters the smallest particles possible while you jog, then you're probably not making a huge difference in the spread of the virus. Here in New York, I've shown you, out there on the trail, how compliant people really are. Nobody on that trail has been mandated by Cuomo to wear those masks out there. You understand that. The original rule, the mandate, is only in situations where you cannot maintain 6 feet. To my knowledge, that rule has remained unchanged. Yet the fear level has driven people to walk around in masks and face shields, even jogging a few of them, in the woods. If they're doing it there, they're doing it everywhere. This is fear-driven compliance that I saw out there on that trail. Hasn't made a difference. People are still dying here in New York. People are still getting infected. All of my friends it's run through them for the most part. I think Steve's the only one I know that didn't have it at some point. They've all had it. Their families have all had it. I've been around these people and I didn't catch it, which means I probably already had it, or I'm protected against it for now, till the next strain. Masks were irrelevant for that. Social distancing, irrelevant. Lockdowns, irrelevant. Did not stop the spread. Doesn't even seem to slow it down if you look at the current infection rate. So, tell me again, why should I wear a mask? What proof do you have? We have undeniable data here. Show me the lack of compliance. Show me the lack of compliance that led to the current infection spike and death rate. We had our deadliest COVID day. How the hell did that happen? When more people are compliant than ever and scared and not going places and not doing things together, how are we having a higher mortality rate all of a sudden. If you believe the press. If you look at the CDC's statistics on weekly deaths, if you look at the CDC statistics, we're not really any worse off than we were in the summertime. And we haven't gone back to worse than we were back in March when the death rate was the highest. You know. So, I don't know. Enough virtue signaling about fucking masks, all right? We did it. It didn't work. We did the social distancing. It didn't work. Not only have we done lockdown, we're doing it again. And it's still not working. And it's not going to work. You want to know my prediction? Lockdowns over the holidays going to put thousands of business owners out of business, millions of people without jobs. Big corporations are going to get rich. This is my New Year's prediction, by the way. Big corporations are going to get wealthy beyond all fucking belief. And the middle class is going to be gone. Suicides are going to go way up. So will, of course, addiction, alcohol, drug-related deaths. Violence is going to be off the charts. The longer we lock down, anyway. And we're still going to have the high infection rate. And I also predict there's going to be some side effect from the vaccine. Name me one thing the pharmaceutical industry produces that doesn't have side effects. And those are things that have had 3, 4, 5 years of testing before it was released and approved by the FDA. My prediction is 2021. When you couple that with our election and the politics going on right now, is going to be the biggest shit show of my lifetime, and probably yours, depending on how old you are. We've had worse shit shows. And so I guess pull up a chair and let's hunker down, because 2021 is only a few weeks away. And yeah, I wish I had some fucking warm fuzzy outlook to give you. I wish I had something I could say that would say we're gonna be okay. Nothing I say matters in that respect. Neither do you, by the way. You know, nothing we say is making a fucking difference here. So, live your best life. Live the best you can. Take care of yourself. Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing or your neighbor or the person down the street. Worry about your fucking yard. Worry about your own life. And live it as best you can. And do what you think is right. Government's not going to save you. I don't care if suddenly we woke up tomorrow and the election was solved and Trump was in office and we didn't get more corruption and fucking establishment Republicans and Democrats running shit. It wouldn't matter. And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it's just a question of how hard it makes you to live your life. And right now, I'd say Democrat governors are having the most impact. So really, the White House is kind of a moot point, don't you think? When you think about it, we had Trump this whole time, yet we're still getting our ass kicked by our local governments. What elections really matter? Happy birthday, Cuomo. So, that's it. If you like this video and you want me to make more fucking videos, please like and subscribe. Then head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a tip in the virtual tip jar, and I'll make more shit. Also, sign up for my free email list so that when I do my live 2 to 3 hour podcast version of Bitchin' About Shit, that you can, of course, participate and join in, because I'll have sent the notification through those emails, and you'll be able to find that. Also, whenever I post exclusive, non-bad, uncensored content to Odysee, you will be able to know that happens as well. Or you can just follow me on Odysee. Their notification system's a lot better than YouTube's, ironically enough. So there's that. But that's it for this fucking video. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. And I'm planning on not going out this weekend. I don't know if I'll stick to that, but we're having a major snowstorm. So chances are I'm doing my part. 10 times better, by the way, than wearing a mask and social distancing. I'll be staying home. I'm not going out in the snow. Fuck that. I might get hit by a car or slide off the road into a ditch and die of hypothermia. I can't leave the house because I might die. Could happen. I also can't associate with people. I can't relate or be... Do you see how that train of thought goes, people? Live your life. I'm going to live mine. You know, and regardless of how many virtue signal and hateful motherfuckers comment on my shit, I'm still going to live my life. I don't have to make videos. Just saying. You know, I do it because I enjoy it. But as you've seen in my previous YouTube history, and when I stop enjoying this shit is when the videos stop, by the way. That's it. When I don't like it anymore, I go do other things. I'm not there. Don't worry. Don't panic. I know some of you are very happy with the way I've been running my channel lately, but some of you haven't. Oh well. I'm just going to do what I do. And either you like it or you don't. I'm not going to change. I'm going to suddenly read your comment and be like, oh, fuck, I better wear a mask. I got told by this motherfucker if I don't wear a mask, I'm a piece of shit. I better start wearing a mask. I'm going to change my life because some motherfucker commented. It's not me. You know? The comment did trigger me, though, obviously. So, that's it. And Cuomo, happy birthday, you fucking piece of shit. I'm going to see if I can buy you some more nipple rings so that maybe you can run a fucking chain down to your balls, you piece of fucking...